MAKIMURA, this is Kirby Marie here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to the final episode of Shin Hayarigami. First of all, it's very good to see you all again. I hope you're all doing well. Hope you're all having a lovely day, afternoon, night, depending on your time zone. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for taking this moment of your time and watching today's video. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. If you guys enjoy this type of content, be sure to drop the like button. It really helps out a lot. If you're not subscribed to the channel, would appreciate if you do. Also leave your comments and your thoughts on this video or anything in general. And just to give you a quick recap of what happened last episode. So in the last episode, obviously we went to question KANAYA about his involvement with the current incident of murdering his family and our partner Kazumori. And he was way out of his mind. He was still only thinking about Haruka and all of that. But that is until, after we didn't succeed in, obviously, getting through KANAYA, Sekimoto gets through KANAYA for us, and KANAYA finally confesses that he did kill TAMURA, but he never killed the old lady and the Takenaka family, excuse me. And so, that's when then he says that the person who did that was Blindman, and Blindman was the one who apparently was giving KANAYA the medications, which drove him insane. Apparently he was taking those medications to lose weight for Haruka, but it had some heavy side effects, as Misuzu described, with hallucinations and growing intense hunger and many side effects that were very dangerous. After that, since we uncovered the truth about Tamura's death, they decided that the higher ups decided that they wanted Sekimoto back since he solved that part of the case. But of course, we still needed Sekimoto, but unfortunately the higher ups weren't going to accept that, so we had no other choice but to take Sekimoto back to the Tokyo detention house. So it was us with Kuroda, but then something happened along the way when we were escorting Sekimoto, and there was a mysterious figure with a bunch of rags all around them, and it turns out that it was Haruka, who had just been killed by Blindman, brutally murdered by Blindman, and they tried to rescue her, but she died. And then the car turned itself on because both our main girl and Kuroda had gotten out of the car. The car started to drive on its own with the police officer inside dead. And when Kuroda tried to go and rescue Sekimoto was not there. And of course, Kuroda falls off with the car and he went bye-bye. And then at the end, it was just our main girl who was extremely angry about everything that happened. And when she called him out, Sekimoto showed up with doing a top 10 anime betrayal. He used a taser on us, and then we woke up to this place and tried to crawl our way as best as we can, and now we encounter SANAE MAKIMURA, one of the people who we've questioned. And not only that, but basically, as you can guys probably surmise, the girl standing right in front of us was Blindman this whole time. So yeah, that's where we left off, and the reason why I didn't continue last episode is because there was still a whole other hour of this segment that we're gonna go through right now. So yeah, anyways, that is pretty much it for this episode, for this intro. Without further ado, we're just gonna straight up jump into this. So yeah, hope you all enjoy.
Yes, it's MAKIMURA. It's so good to see you again. Oh, and thanks so much for everything during my interrogation.
She was beaming with happiness after seeing me, but her body was completely covered with blood. Yeah, no shit.
You've gained back your senses. Thank goodness. I was starting to worry that you wouldn't wake up.
As she spoke, it felt like she was worried about a close friend. This confused me because of my current situation. Is this your house?
I just randomly chose this one. There were a lot of vacant places here in Town C. Are you gonna arrest me for this?
Don't be silly.
I'm no expert, so correct me if I'm wrong. Is this called trespassing?
What was she talking about? Trespassing was the least of her concerns, being in this butcher house. Why now is she worried about trespassing?
Can I be arrested for this?
you been doing in this house?
What was I doing?
She seemed perplexed, as if she didn't know what to say. Yes, what have you been doing?
Well, yes. All of this? It kind of speaks for itself, does it? Doesn't it? Do you want to know all about all the details?
She's absolutely insane. I couldn't find any signs of remorse in her expression.
Well, alright. Marie, I'm going to tell you everything since you've been so nice to me. I use this place for my work. I store my tools here, sharpen my blades, perform cutting experiments, and try out new utensils. You have to use the right tool according to each meat type. Female and male bodies are so different from one another. That's why I started experimenting here. For your information, it doesn't matter how sharp something is when you start cutting against bone. You can have the sharpest blade, but all it will do to the bone is chip it. Hey, are you doing alright? Why do you have that blank expression on your face? You understand what I'm saying?
I was in shock by how much concern she showed towards me. I also couldn't understand how calmly she said all of this.
I have plenty of tools here. The Chinese cleavers are really heavy but are good for mincing. I got needles for fixing things and saws for cutting bones. Incredible, isn't it?
She was smiling ecstatically.
Oh, you must be thinking that something's wrong, aren't you? Well, yes, you are right to think that. I'll tell you because I know none of this makes any sense. If I mutilated the bodies here, all the bodies you've been finding wouldn't have match. I know you were thinking that. I always knew you were a brilliant detective. I'm impressed. No wonder you're a detective.
She just keeps on talking. She starts talking faster without even taking a breath. As she continued, it was like she was boasting to a person that she really admired, but everything she said was horrible and irrational. Are we her? Is she like our friend? Nah, I don't think so.
Do you remember all of the things that have been happening in Town C? It's a quiz, so please answer me.
This sudden change in mood flustered me. Her eyes were fixed on me and wouldn't move. Even when I tried to look away, her eyes with a big creepy smile never left me, waiting for an answer. I was overwhelmed by fear. Her gentle tone made it even more terrifying. Something told me if I answered wrong that something very bad was going to happen, and that was what my gut told me. That's... Lyman. The murder cases that are copying the Lyman story?
Lyman, huh? Are you really sure about that? Maybe each victim had a different story to tell. Are you sure all of those were Lyman's doing?
Of course not. I have no idea what you're getting at.
I'm sorry, but that's the wrong answer. It's time for your punishment.
Oh no! SANAE stabbed my foot with a long, pointy needle.
Next time, I need you to answer the question correctly. Well, if there is another question, that is.
The needle that penetrated my foot was stuck into the floor, and there were many tiny little holes around it. So, what's the right answer?
Huh?
The answer to your question. What was I missing?
Oh, right. I forgot to tell you that. In Town C, there were so many other incidents besides just the ones that recently happened. They were just not as noticeable. You must have heard about all the people disappearing.
I had. Aside from the first victim, Tamura, there were still many other people that went missing in this town.
No wonder you didn't notice anything. I'll tell you this. They were all foreigners, and they all vanished without a trace. I'm sure about how your search went for all the missing persons, but needed hard evidence to move forward, correct?
That's true, but... we don't start an investigation unless the missing person case is urgent. It's because most of the time when someone is reported missing, they usually disappear on their own and it only leads to civil court cases anyway.
Those cases of people mysteriously vanishing in town were never investigated. It was spontaneous. It didn't make sense, right?
For the pain in my foot, I started to feel dizzy. Do you have something to do with...
Are you alright? You look like you're in a lot of pain.
Are you saying that you killed missing persons?
Yes, that was me.
She acted as she was concerned about my wound, but she didn't do anything to treat it. And what about blind men?
Oh, that? Do you really want to know about it?
I do.
But don't you know the answer already?
SANAE stood in front of me.
I better end this slowly now. Marie, if you become unconscious, I won't be able to enjoy myself.
She grabbed the knife off the table.
This is my first time I have done so much in just one day. I should perk up.
Whoa, what the hell? There was a bucket behind the girl with a cheery voice. It was full of severed human hands. Severed! After just experiencing all these crazy events right before my eyes, I had to prepare myself for the worst that was yet to come. What Sekimoto said during his court trial. Sekimoto Soujirou moving to the station. The argument between me and him. And the horrible murder cases afterwards, and this place. I closed my eyes gently. Well, at least I get to analyze everything in my head. I wanted to draw my own conclusion on the case. This was my last wish. Huh? Oh, we gotta do this now. Oh my. Let me drink some water, by the way. KANAYA HIROMU. He confessed that he killed TAMURA and committed unaliving by biting off his tongue. I wonder what kind of person he was. Drug addict. And how he was connected to the KANAYA, and how he was connected to the dead KANAYA and blind men? The dietary medication. And who was pretending to be blind man, the fictional character from the urban legend? SANAE MAKIMURA. Good grief. SANAE MAKIMURA. Fill up the empty spaces, modify the place where all there are already keywords if needed. Complete the big picture. Okay. What happened to Sudanama, by the way? This guy, they show him up once and never saw him again. Sekimoto, model prisoner intelligence, womanizer, mad killer, labyrinth demon. I guess the only one that makes sense to me is intelligence. I might get it wrong, because I still have no idea what to put for Sekimoto. Haruka's connection to KANAYA is... he was an easy customer for her. This is still DV. Get down and beg. I'm pretty sure, didn't know. I hope this is the right choice, because I swear to God. I guess that's pretty much it. Wait, hold on. Exclusive? Interpretation? I'm just making sure. Right. Let's see. Okay. KANAYA HIROMU was addicted to drugs. According to Misu's autopsy report, there was a high chance that the drug addiction would have caused him to have the delusions. KANAYA can be considered as a drug addict. Blind man gave KANAYA the medication. KANAYA said that he got it from blind man. SANAE is blind man. The person who is doing this to me, it's definitely her. Okay? TV. Gosh. Oh, we passed the test. Holy shit. I would get it wrong. Oh my god. You are blind man.
Well, nice to meet you. I'm blind man.
She laughed triumphantly.
Do you think it was a man? That's not unreasonable. It was probably because of the word man in his name.
Even though she was smiling ear to ear, her eyes seemed as if she was possessed.
Too bad it's too late for you now. You're gonna die now.
This girl will definitely kill me. What should I do to stay alive? My mouth and tongue are the only things I can use. I better try talking to her. Or this miserable place will be the place I die. I could try to buy some time if I tried talking with her. I managed to come up with a topic even though my brain was nearly paralyzed by fear. Are you going to kill me?
Huh? That's an odd question to ask. Why are you asking that?
Because over there. I can't hesitate, not even for a moment. Once she loses interest in me, I'll be chopped up and my hands will be placed in that bucket.
You're not giving up, are you? That's amusing, Marie.
She brought her mouth up close to my ear and whispered. Oh wait, don't not kiss me. I don't want you to kiss me.
Stop trying to give up. Well, it doesn't matter. Killing someone who's already given up isn't fun.
She might have said that to sway me. I bet she was trying to scare me. Blind man, MAKIMURA SANAE wanted to be in control of someone else's life and control their fate in the palm of her own hands. I'm so angry right now.
Angry? Why?
I figure out that you're blind man, but that's it. There's not even enough evidence to help figure out the rest of the cases. There's no motive why you did it. I want to know your reason before I die. She smiled creepily as if she was pleased by what I said.
Are you saying you're willing to pay your life for the truth? This won't change anything. You will still die, and Lyman will live on. People won't be able to find your body so easily. This is actually quite funny because you might already know this. You know, if I stop killing people right after I finish killing you, this case will never be solved. You know, I won't even be arrested if I tell you everything. Are you still sure you want to hear all of it? Answer fast. I'm not a really patient person.
I still want to know the truth.
You're a strange person, Marie.
I'm just a detective in the washout division. Now it makes sense why escorting a murderer was given to me. And everyone at work hated me.
You are so different from all the others who already died here. They just scream in terror as I practice on them with my tools. God, I hated all those noisy people. That's why I cut their tongues out first.
Oh,
without any anesthetic, of course. Anesthetics were too expensive. I couldn't afford those with my salary.
whoops, they got screwed.
On second thought, the police probably would have found me if I bought them because buying anesthetics is extremely hard.
They would have detected it during the autopsy and would have investigated the drug distribution route.
You see it? Thank goodness.
I knew I was right. She is very smart. She's 10 steps ahead of everyone. She was thrilled to see that her idea was right. Well, she must have wondered how much her crime would have bothered the police. This caused a bit of a misunderstanding. All I wanted to know was the truth, not all these futile things she wondered about. You said I'm strange. Can you elaborate on that?
Oh, sorry. But I only say that because you weren't begging for your life. Aren't you afraid of dying, Mary?
Of course I am. But the worst thing would be dying without knowing anything.
Really? So, what if I cut your ears off instead of telling you the truth?
No, I don't want to be Hoichi the earless. I laughed off my head. I wasn't losing it to fear. My mind was clear. Sorry about the car noise.
What's that for?
I think you're strange. You're still going to kill me anyway, right? And you don't have to ask me about that now, do you?
That's right. All I was doing was testing your patience.
Yeah, right.
Alright, I'm gonna tell you now. This is gonna take a while. I hope you're okay with that, aren't you?
I nodded. It wasn't like I had a choice anyway. She sat down beside me, playing with one of her tools. La 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 la, I have my little knifey ready. Oh my god.
As I said before, I'm not a really patient person. I avoided anyone annoying or awkward situations. I lived cautiously. I sometimes used to get panic attacks when things got too stressful. If something or someone sets me off during a situation, I no longer play nice.
Oof.
But I didn't start killing people right away. I'm talking about my past before I started killing people. I was a person who couldn't say no to anything. I had 3 different newspapers delivered to my house just because I couldn't say no to the telemarketers.
She talked casually, just like this was a usual conversation that took place at a local coffee shop.
And the same goes for Kanaya.
Kanaya Hiromu?
Yeah, that's correct. Kanaya preyed on my weakness.
Oh my god, another trigger warning!
So I couldn't say no to him. I really hated him for doing that. But I wasn't brave enough to stand for myself.
What did he make you do? Her story was somewhat confusing. It wasn't about the truth that I wanted to know about, and it didn't seem relevant at all. Unfortunately for me, she explained more than I had initially asked in the first place.
Oh, so sorry. Are you following what I'm saying? Alright, let me try to better explain. Let's start with Takenaka.
Takenaka Shinichiro, his family including himself, were murdered at their own house on the outskirts of town. Considering the timeline, I think he would be considered the first victim of blind men. One second.
He was a graduate student. We began to see each other when he came back to town. I was a naive girl at the time. I hadn't killed anybody yet and had done nothing aggressive. All was well between the two of us, and he even supported my decision of me wanting to become a nurse. Even though it wasn't his field study, he helped me study for my nursing certificate. He was also very sweet and normal. Come to think of it, that was the happiest part of my life. But even though he was so kind to me, I could sense something dark hidden deep inside him. But the happiness didn't last forever. One day, Takenaka began to change. He kept showing up places late, had mood swings, and it felt like I was with a different person. It appeared that something was causing him a lot of stress. It might have been from his struggles with finding a job in town or some sort of depression, I'm not quite sure. Obviously, he was anxious about something, and it started to grow bigger in his mind, which caused him to turn into a completely different person.
After a mouthful of words, she lets out a long sigh. But the story was far from the truth that I was so eager to hear about. It couldn't be the reason she was doing all of those. SANAE continued.
Takenaka was a pervert.
Oh no, he made you do things, didn't he?
Huh?
I reacted unintentionally.
Do you want to hear about it?
Oh, You don't have to go into any specifics.
Well, I guess it doesn't really matter if you don't like it or not. Because you're gonna die anyway.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me.
It happened one day when things got a little physical. It was so bad that his parents could hear us in the room next to us.
Oh my god, that's so awkward!
He whispered something strange, breathing hard. I have been studying some urban legends and knew all sorts of Japanese stories, including ones about monsters from the other worlds. There were monsters and horrible stories that were actually believable, unlike the common campfire ghost stories. Such as Hanako of the Toilet, Man-Faced Dog, Antarctic Man, and Sewer Crocodile, which were all fascinating and believable. I asked him why he had begun studying those terrifying things, but he just laughed. I am just a rookie in the field who was following the lead of an urban legend lover.
Oh my, is he... I recall Takenaka Shinishiro's personal information.
Yes, it's Sekimoto Soujirou. Takenaka always rambled on about Sekimoto. He said, I couldn't stand Sekimoto's work. It was too devilish. I know Blindman was the professor's greatest work and that Blindman would pay me a visit one day. He talked about that character all the time. When I asked him about it, he said things like Blindman over and over. He explained that Blindman was a fictional character for a fake urban legend and was created for research purposes. Blindman was told to be a murderer who stabs its victims that walk alone at night. He also leaves a message in its victim's mouth, saying, "Give me your eyes," and targets the next person who finds the message. Takenaka told me that over and over, terrified that the actual Blindman would come after him someday. And he added that he wanted to do whatever he wanted before he died. And I found out in a moment that he wanted to die.
He wanted to unalive himself?
It was my sixth sense, but he acted like that. He acted like that. He had already given up on his own life. But since he was a coward, he couldn't do it by himself. And that was the reason he was so cruel to me. As I looked at him so helpless in depression, an idea popped into my mind. I figured out how I could help him achieve what he wanted. It was by bringing Blindman into the real world. That's why it happened at his house. It was deserted, so there wouldn't be anyone to call the police. I guess, right? Because it took you guys a long time to find him, Marie.
But his parents were there too. Why did you kill them as well?
Oh, that's simple. They seemed like they wanted to die too.
Oh no, she was just killing for fun.
You've seen that place for yourself. It was like they were waiting to die in that miserable, wordless residential area all alone. I don't know what the reason was, but they seem to have given up on life, just like their son. So I helped them.
Oh my god. But it was your assumption.
Yeah, it might have been. But I felt like I was reborn. I felt guilty as I committed the crime, but the rush of the excitement was intoxicating. After that, I looked over the dead family who lay there quietly, and I left with a smile.
Oh my god. So her Takenaka literally turned this girl into a monster because he abused her so much. He literally brought the worst out of her. Damn.
But someone saw me all covered in blood. I thought this was it for me. Fortunately, he didn't call the police. Instead, he filmed me and blackmailed me with a video.
KANAYA! The story was terrible from beginning to the end. All the people in her story, including MAKIMURA SANAE herself, sounded somewhat twisted.
KANAYA was too much. He treated me like a toy. I liked Takenaka way better than him. KANAYA didn't have very good interpersonal skills either. Don't you agree?
had to agree with her on that one.
I think relationships are shaped by empathy and sharing emotions with each other. I think that's the same for nursing. But he just suppressed me without caring about my feelings. Can you believe that? And he whispered the name Haruka while he played with my body.
Oh my god, what a sick he was.
He pretended I was Haruka and fulfilled all of his desires he wanted to do with her.
That is messed up. So basically, he blackmailed her and just was abusing her, essaying her, and having her pretend to be Haruka or something. That is so sick.
And he always told me that I was just her substitute. I couldn't stand it. It was just too stressful and unbearable. I had to do something to punish Kanaya. But I couldn't do anything because he was much stronger than me and had that video. Because I couldn't use the same method I used when I killed Takenaka, I devised a new plan dealing with his own
self-destruction. So you gave him the medicine to get rid of him like that, huh? Self-destruction?
I decided to use his inferiority complex against him. I started telling him that Haruka would only see him if he lost some weight. It was pretty obvious that it was going to be impossible for him to lose weight. He didn't want to reduce the amount of food he ate, and he hated exercising.
Sorry, but voicing SANAE like this really dries my throat.
All this I already know.
SANAE medical diet.
That's right. You figured out the name, huh? It's how we use in Southeast Asia where the regulations aren't so strict. It didn't require exercise or change of diet because it helped reduce food cravings by stimulating a person's body, making them feel satiated. When he started taking the drug, I told him what Mida-san would say. I told him that he looked thin, and it was surprising that his chin line was improving. Men are so simple and gullible, don't you think so? He actually believed everything I told him. He really did lose some weight, but there were side effects.
Yeah, some pretty serious one. I had some questions I wanted to ask, but I couldn't because she never stopped talking.
He was getting worse and more delusional by the day, saying that Haruka was having a hard time lately because of a guy. And I kept handing him the drugs, whispering in his ears that she was the reason why he should lose weight. When he took enough medication, I told him a terrifying method for killing a person. I told him to grab a pair of scissors and stab the victim's eyes out for an easy kill with enough screams to satisfy his needs. And he did just that to Haruka's lover.
Just like Blindman, he was never her lover. So she was the one who encouraged Kanaya to kill Tamura because Kanaya thought that Tamura was with Haruka. And Haruka and Tamura were never like boyfriend and girlfriend, but she encouraged him to kill him just for that, just so she could simply get rid of him like that. That is so crazy.
And he apparently lost his mind and killed his entire family. You probably know the rest of the story, right?
Yes, Kazumori was killed because of you. Yeah.
No, you're wrong. It was Kanaya's fault.
Yeah, but you're an accomplice. Don't go hiding out that. You shouldn't have given him that medication. Okay. This is also crazy. I can't even comment much.
He can't solve anything now if you go on like that. I should have never met him. He shouldn't have met Haruka either. I can go on and on. So don't make me a scapegoat. He was delusional even before he started taking the drugs. Ever since he killed Haruka's lover, his mental condition worsened and he no longer cared about me. I was finally free. But it was just the beginning of another anxiety disorder.
Were you worried about the investigation? SANAE shook her head.
About his testimony because Kanaya was taking that drug, and anything he said in court would be thrown out.
Damn, so it was true.
I was afraid that no one would ever need me. live the rest of my life in this town alone. Even if I got that nursing certificate, what next? No one would be there to cheer for me.
I felt so alone. Don't you have, like, family?
The anxiety that nobody needed me anymore stemmed from the time when I was abused by KANAYA. I needed to find someone who would need me. And I found someone. I had found lots of people who needed me.
The people in your facility? I asked her, but I think I already knew the answer. Oh, the old lady she killed.
But I can tell that you wanted me to say no. This man, for example.
SANAE pointed at the bucket and bloody arm waved at her, just like if it was saying hello. Oh my god. And I bet that's the chief director who she believed that unalive himself and he was actually dead.
They had become corpses because I did something to them. They can't be dead now unless I want them to. If I don't do my work, my men will be no more.
What do you mean by that?
My every action is crucial to the believers of Blind Man. He lives as I kill. I kill people so that they would need me. I invited random people who I have never met and murdered them here.
Oh my god.
You know that feeling, Marie?
No, I don't want to know. I don't wish to know what a cold-blooded attention-craving murderer would think. Who was the other one? I thought you said you weren't alone.
You already know that all about the other one. It's Professor Sekimoto SOUJIROU.
The one who betrayed us!
Now that Takanaka was no more, I thought Sekimoto would be in need of me. Because I was the one who brought Blind Man to life! I've been pretty busy since then. I brought strangers here and killed them while I still work at the facility. I tried so hard to get Sekimoto's attention in Tokyo, but I felt like it wasn't enough. So I wrote him several letters. A letter for Sekimoto from Blind Man, his son.
So that's why Sekimoto confessed the testimony, whatever, on the court, so he could get here. Huh. Wait, then you were the one who brought Sekimoto here?
That was a big surprise. I was so happy that he actually showed interest.
But it would have been difficult for you to know that he was visiting. How did you find out?
The child always knows what their parents are thinking.
What? She is avoiding the question. Someone must have told her about the information. Was there a traitor amongst us? Because how the hell would she know all of that? Could it be Misuzu? Ooh, that would be crazy.
I wanted to show him that Blind Man, his son, had become real.
But you're a girl. Are you gonna turn to a boy then?
I wanted to let him know that he was growing.
Growing?
I can do it, Father!
She talked as if she was a needy son.
Tari was pretty simple. She already had an issue with walking properly. She wasn't that sensitive when I was nursing her. But there was a moment where she noticed that something was wrong when I told her it was time for a walk. I thought it was okay because she had dementia. What a surprise. I had to stab her eyes out and put that letter in her mouth because she just kept on babbling. Just like how Sekimoto wrote. And shut up, Marie. You look so brave.
It didn't make me feel any better when she gave me a compliment.
It felt so nice when I went home because Sekimoto would finally notice my work.
How about Minase Haruka?
Oh, that was so much more difficult and different. She was young and it could have gone wrong if she screamed. That's why I hit her until she couldn't fight back anymore. And then I showed her underwear down the throat. What? Yo, that's crazy! That was the best time I ever had. You know why? Huh? Because I was about to see Professor Sekimoto for the very first time. I was so happy. I was hiding in the forest while you guys discovered Haruka and stopped your car. I was so excited that I almost to because I still had some more work left to do.
The officer was driving.
Yeah, that's right. It was a bit of disappointment because I didn't have enough time to stab out his eyes. Fortunately for me, the car fell off the cliff, though.
Kuroda died because of it.
Well, oh well. What does it matter? Don't worry, you'll soon join them, Marie. You won't be alone.
How did you know we were transporting him back?
It was easy. I monitor you guys every day.
So she was keeping an eye on us. How, though? She's completely insane and had no soul.
Yeah, that's about it. That's pretty much everything you wanted to know. Now it's your turn.
So much for buying time.
Are you ready? Of course not. No one ever wants to die. Don't worry, just think of it as a sacrifice for all the believers of Blind Man. Go ahead, cry, scream, and beg for your life.
Please don't kill me. It feels as if all the things in my brain had suddenly been deleted, but I can't let her see me wail and beg for my life. As soon as I act like that, she will cut me into pieces.
Why are you acting so calm? As if you still had any hope?
Let me save real quick because we're about to do Lyazat. Okay, 1 second here. Okay, I don't know if we're gonna survive this Lyazar, but let's see. I didn't drink my water. Let me just make a choice and then I'll drink the water. Well, what do you think? Magical girl power in the middle of a weird Well, I don't know. What do you think?
I'm the one who's asking you. Are you up to something here?
What do you expect me to say? I watched her eyes carefully. I could sense a rustle of emotions within them. She didn't seem to like my answer. Just kill me already. That's what you want, right?
Yeah, that's true. But killing a person who wants to die would be boring. I want you to scream with despair. It would be fulfilling.
So she wants me to despair myself. She was explaining her intentions and I got a hint for my survival. It was no use to beg for mercy. She was going to kill me for that. I have a question. Will you continue your work? Even have to kill me?
It's none of your business. Stop. Or your experience a lot more pain.
What do you mean? What do you mean by much more pain? I'm going to die anyway. You should at least allow me to ask you something.
This is annoying.
SANAE bit her lips and I continue on quickly. Don't be like that. You're going to kill me anyway, right? Relax.
I want you to wail and scream so I can kill you happily.
She gritted her teeth again and I could understand her purpose. She wanted to be a god who could kill anyone she pleased, but I wasn't the helpless victim who she wanted me to be. I better let her know more clearly that I am far from the victim she was looking for. So that was a neutral answer again. Can you tell me what would you do? What would you do to dispose of my body when I'm dead?
That's a good question. You don't want to know, but you're still curious about it, aren't you? How exactly? How exciting!
I want to think of you. Sorry. I won't ask anything. Forget it. Am I gonna become a Krabby Patty then? I was as close to throwing up everything that was in my stomach. Shit. Please! Stop it!
That's the case. I would use a simpler method to kill, but you will be alive when I do it because it's no fun if you don't react to my methods.
It seemed that SANAE was enjoying me holding back my urges to throw up. She went on. So that was a nice answer. Don't underestimate the police. Even though it appears you destroy all the evidence, they will still find you no matter how long it takes.
You're babbling again. I think it's a good time to cut out your tongue now. The last thing I need is an annoying lecture.
I'm just making a choice there. Please open your eyes. Can't you see you're heading straight for your demise? Pretending to be terrified seemed not to be working so well. I need to change my plan and try to persuade her. I was about to sympathize with her situation and to manipulate her mind.
Nice? I already know that. I have already lived a miserable life anyway.
It's not too late for you. If you recognize your own sins and turn yourself in, you'll have enough time to repent for your actions.
Cut I already killed so many people. I probably will get the death penalty anyway.
It wasn't working. Damn. What she said was true. She was a serial killer. There was no chance for her. What was the reason why she couldn't stop killing? Did SANAE already know that she couldn't stop what she had started? This was a difficult situation. No! I made a wrong choice! Please, listen to me. There's no point in killing people. How much more do you think you have to kill in order to be satisfied?
I never really thought about that. I don't really think there's any meaning left to this. Besides, I'm already used to this stuff by now.
Okay. You're absolutely insane. You're absolutely insane. I think you got some screws loose. You lost your mind. I mean, those guys definitely brought out the worst in her.
Maybe, but there's no other choice. I just can't seem to help myself with toying with you.
You should thank me then. I'm about to be a great sacrifice for you.
How amusing! It is fun to thank someone in need.
I'm not quite sure how this worked, but her attitude seemed to shift and she seemed to like me now. Okay, we're back on track. Please don't do this. I don't want to die.
Yeah, that's it! I was waiting for you to say that. Trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Please forgive me. Please forgive me! I'll do anything you want! Oops, you're not meant to do that. I screamed at the top of my lungs, begging for my life because I wanted to see how she reacted to it.
You want to hear something? Then I want you to die right here. Is that okay with you?
Please, don't kill me! She swung her knife. I thought this was the end, but nothing happened. SANAE appeared to be looking at the room next to ours. Is SEKIMOTO there? Oh my god, no way! Was there something inside that room? It might have been something to do with why she hadn't killed me yet. What does murder mean to you?
Hello? Marie? Have you forgotten everything I've told you?
I remember all of it, of course. You kill people for the followers of Blind Man. Honestly, I thought there'd be something more behind all of this.
Stop being so philosophical. It's making me dizzy. I gotta talk about my favorite body parts to slice open. Let's stop all this meaningless chit-chat.
Wait, you still have to answer my questions. I can't die like this.
Don't worry, Marie. This whole one barely wants to die. And I don't believe in ghosts or spirits. I've actually killed a lot of people, but none of them have ever come back to take their revenge against me.
Well, I'm sure they will take revenge against you in hell. SANAE smiled. Appealing to her emotional side didn't seem to work on her. Oh, wait, repeat that. It was a neutral answer. I got one final question for you. I really want to ask you. Are you going to continue killing after you're done with me?
You're very persistent. I hate that about you. And why are you asking this all of a sudden?
Just out of curiosity, can't you do this?
Curiosity? What a strange person. Hey, that's not a bad thing.
Then tell me.
No. Why should I listen to you? Now then.
She stood up and glanced over me contemptuously.
Mary, let's begin. Shall we? I enjoy talking with you, Marie. I'm sure you'll be a great corpse.
Think what you want. Don't you want to know what I'm thinking?
Sure.
I would hate to die for any of your silly reasons you gave me. My body's not your toy! I let that out because I was about to die. There were no other reasons why I need to consider her feelings anymore at this point. I stared at her angrily and she just smiled back.
Oh, interesting. Ooh, I got chills. I am so happy to kill such a brave person like you, Marie. I will make sure to be extra careful with you.
This was the end. SANAE was going to mince me up until there was nothing left. She had already killed numerous people like this before, so she probably knew the best way to induce pain and kill efficiently. SANAE might remove all of my skin and sever my arms, leaving all of my respiratory and vascular system. Yeah, that's a possibility. And she would continue to cut everything except my eyes, ears, and my brain. It was so depressing knowing that there was no way escaping this hell. Once I realized this, my body stopped trembling and I remained calm. Oh, whatever. Just kill me.
Yeah, but since you lived up to this point...
Oh no, the scissors!
I will kill you just like blind men would kill you. I will now stab both of your eyes thoroughly, all the way back to your skull.
How delightful.
He will see it for himself.
He? Oh.
Welcome!
SANAE stood up and ran towards the door.
You've come here at the right time. The show's about to start. Please come in and take the best seat in the house.
I could hear heavy footsteps approaching. I couldn't believe who I just saw. I know. You traitor! You traitor! Top 10 anime betrayal!
How are you feeling, Marie?
SEKIMOTO SOUJIROU! Anger started to boil and I began roaring inside me like a molten lava.
How much did Marie know about us?
Everything, sir. I told her about the letter I wrote to you while we were in custody.
There might be some misunderstandings here. I can tell from your eyes.
Are you using me?
I'm not sure. But does it really matter to you?
I like your expression, Marie. I have prepared one last gift for you. Now that sounds worth killing for.
SEKIMOTO SOUJIROU, you will be brought to justice!
A man must die someday. Before my life was in the hands of the government. Now all these threats are meaningless to me. And the situation is just a catalyst for my academic curiosity.
So all of this was just a dumb experiment for you, huh?
MAKIMURA SANAE was an interesting specimen. She materialized my story.
SANAE was looking at him dumbstruck.
I really want to write a paper on your behavior.
MAKIMURA SANAE had tears in her eyes. Maybe this is what she always wanted, to be told by someone else that she was truly needed. I was about to lose it with all these crazy events all happening at once.
I was so lucky because I could hear about all the cases in Town C. Now I get to watch the conclusion to this case, up close and personal.
I don't want to be the sacrifice for their desires. All I was to them was the source of satisfaction for the two of them. God damn, being the sacrifice for those two savages? This is outrageous! For sure.
Now, show me the work of blind man.
Yes, sir!
Oh no, we're gonna die! She grabbed a pair of scissors and walked towards me in glee. I won't forget your face. Even if you stab my eyes out, I will become an evil spirit. I will haunt you until you take the plunge down to hell.
Shut up! Can't you see I'm in the middle of a show here? Please don't disturb me.
SANAE grabbed my chin tightly and I tilted my head to face upward. She seemed static as Sekimoto watched on from the rear with his cold expression. Blood was splattered all over the ceiling. That was all I saw, and maybe that was my last memory of my life. She brought the scissors close to my eyes. They shine so brightly, she must have polished them for the show. Oh my god.
Thanks for everything. Now die for me.
Oh! Look, wait, hold on, let me take it off. Look at this! Okay, so he didn't betray us at all. Okay, I retract my statement from the top to the enemy betrayal. He is a goody two shoes. Okay. Suddenly, Sekimoto's Soujirou stabbed SANAE in the chest and she fell to the floor. A perplexed expression was the last thing I saw from her face. She tried so hard to grab the knife and to pull it out from her chest. But Sekimoto was holding down both of her arms. SANAE cried out as Sekimoto stomped and crushed both of her hands. Holy shit, aggressive! But well deserved for her. Blood was gushing from her chest. The knife must have been penetrated to her heart. She squirmed around trying to survive. SANAE's limbs were flailing around wildly, causing her blood to splatter all over the place. Holy crap. Her useless squirming continuing a pool of her own blood.
Is it painful, SANAE? Do you want true peace, Makimura SANAE?
It was apparent that she wasn't listening to his quiet question.
I'm sorry, but this is as merciful as I can be considering how much worse you were to your other victims. Now you will die in this horrible slaughterhouse. Accept your miserable and painful death alone, Makimura SANAE. I hope this would at least help your victims find peace.
She was crying and pleading. And Sekimoto brought his mouth close to her ears and whispered,
Makimura, show me the last moment of blindment. For this, I need you.
Okay. He killed her and saved our ass. Oh. Sekimoto pulled the knife out of her chest and stabbed her carotid artery. Oh my god. Blood was spraying like rain from her chest and neck. SANAE's body stopped moving. Somehow her final expression seemed to be that of euphoric joy. So, if I'm guessing right, maybe Sekimoto knew all along who she was, but he was being extremely careful. I guess he knew how dangerous this woman was, and he had no choice but to be lip-tied the entire way until this moment, and had to take matters into his own hands. Holy f***.
It's over. Are you alright, Marie?
He sat down weakly beside me.
I didn't get much exercise because I spent so much time in my cell.
I looked at him with amazement.
Was this your plan all along? It really was.
I
am responsible.
Sekimoto seemed remorseful while he talked with quiet, heavy voice.
The case I was convicted in was an accident. I was trying to stop a student who wanted to become a blind man. And the same goes for all the events that happen in this town. It's all because of my idiotic academic curiosity. That's why I took responsibility for it. And I will carry this burden for the rest of my life. There will be no more sacrifices and disasters. This will be the final atonement for my sins.
Sekimoto. Sometime later, the Special Law Enforcement Unit, an experimental division located in Town C, Prefecture S, has been officially disbanded. The reason was this pretty obvious. I was the only one still alive. Officially, it was because the division just wasn't getting any results. As the result of the Blindman case, the number of casualties was never recording any official documents. The higher-ups cover up most of the details to protect their jobs because of their blunders. Also, two detectives lost their lives in the line of duty. Damn! What a bunch of assholes. The only one who survived was me, Marie Kirby. I was given a promotion but had to remain silent. Oh, it's like a gag order. I'm currently working at the regional division. My job is so boring now, but that doesn't mean that I want to go back out there and look for danger. All I have to do now is stay safe while driving on my patrol routes around the area and make sure nothing bad happens. Well, at least you're gonna take it a bit easy now, I guess.
Again, don't forget you have a time limit.
Alright, I'll remember. We should tell the rest of the story, but the rest isn't really that interesting. After that, the 1st Investigation Division was contacted by Sekimoto and arrived at SANAE's butcher house, and I was rushed to the nearest hospital. I can't remember anything past the moment when the paramedics got me and carried me away, only that SANAE's tools were extremely unsanitary. Oh shit. I was told that they were worried that I had tetanus because they found dirty needles in my body. Oh my god. I slept for days, and once I woke up I couldn't do much because I was all wrapped up. Kuroda went over a cliff inside a car. Kazamori died at the hands of Kanaya. All the funerals were now over, including the ill-fated Watari, the Takenaka family, and the first discovered victim, Tamura. That meant I missed out on everything. So you missed... because you were in the hospital. Sekimoto Soujirou, the one who saved my life, went back to the Tokyo detention house. I heard that an unexpected accident occurred during the previous return, so he was escorted under extreme secrecy during that time. If the accident would be revealed, the integrity of the police would be tarnished. That's why they pretended to drag him back from the hospital just like nothing had happened. And only a few within the department knew the truth about what actually happened. Like Misuzu, probably.
Wait here.
Thanks. I took a day off to come see him because I wanted to say my goodbye to him. Sekimoto. I knew this was going to be my last conversation with him. I sat in front of a glass window in the interview room, waiting for him.
Oh, it's you. It's been a while.
Jeez, you look like a zombie. I stood up and greeted him.
I was startled when I heard that you came to visit me. I thought they would have banned you from visiting me.
Did someone mention my name before? He just smiled at me, and didn't say anything.
We don't have time for chit-chat. So why are you here?
I heard about the verdict. I think it will be very hard to see you again once you're locked up in a place that's banned to the public.
I see. I didn't hear the specific transfer date. It could be tomorrow or a month.
I heard you're using the right to remain silent again.
Yeah.
Why? Your sentencing might have been lessened if you just explained the entire situation. And telling them that you saved me as well would have helped reduce your sentence a little. I'm curious, why didn't you?
I wasn't in Town C at the time. Well, officially.
They lied!
That's why I didn't save you. The authorities, prosecutors, and the entire system of law would be in chaos right now if the truth was revealed.
So they even place a gag on him too.
Internal affairs. You know all too well they know about this.
But you did save me, and that's a fact. I want to return the favor.
I'm just a criminal who managed to avoid capital punishment and imprisonment for life. The prosecutors have already thanked me enough.
I dropped my head. This was wrong, but I couldn't do anything to change it. Damn, that's so unfair.
Marie, that's nothing to be upset about. Do you remember what I told on that day? I decided to take full responsibility and carry this burden with me for the rest of my life.
Sekimoto looked at me with a gentle expression. He was trying to take all the burden on by himself and didn't look like he was ever going to change his mind. Oh, that sucks. Oops, sorry about that. Mr. Sekimoto Soujirou.
Why are you adding Mr. to my name? Cut that out.
Thank you for everything. I bowed to him. That was the only thing I could do. Respect for Sekimoto. Respect for him. Call me anytime if you're ever in trouble. Okay, if you don't mind. Is there anything you want?
I need more writing pads. I have to finish my paper. It's for my study on the embodiment, alteration, and propagation mechanisms of blindment and urban legend through the internet. And if possible, I'm asking every official who has visited me, but I need you to put some pressure on the Tokyo detention house.
Pressure?
Yes, I want to ask them if they have more information about, or if anyone knows the truth about the immortal on death row, huh? If it's an urban legend or not.
That's gonna be a little tough for me. I'm not high enough rank. I'm so sorry. Hey, there's his face.
I see. I was just saying, but I won't give up. I'll see if I can persuade any of the prison guards to tell me.
He smiled as he finished talking. His expression was the brightest smile ever. Sekimoto. Oh, we finished! Oh my god, what a depressing ending that was. Only our main girl, Misusu, survived. And also we didn't even get to see Misusu. Like, Misusu really... Like, Misusu, we didn't get to see her. What happened to her? I know she wasn't part of our department, but at least she was our main girl's bestie. We didn't get to see her. Also, Sekimoto gets imprisoned like that because the higher-ups covered everything up just to save their own asses because of all the casualties and 2 officers dying. That is pretty messed up. Oh, what a really depressing ending. Oh, this really, really sucks. I don't think I've ever seen a much more sad ending than this. Honestly, I don't know. Our girl survived, but now what? She lost everyone she loves, and even the person who saved her, she can't do anything about it. And also she can't talk about the whole incident either because they placed like a gag order, as they would say. That sucks big time. And look at that, Kasamori, our boy. Yeah, it really sucked a lot. We got S as a result. So yeah, Blind Man episode. To be continued, yes, because there's a bunch of extras that we need to watch right now, so yeah. Alright then, let's start with watching Kanaya Hiromu's extra. So let's see. What's the extra?
Lose weight?
Yes, that's right.
What's this girl up to? Her name's SANAE MAKIMURA. This girl looked young for her age, but she really wasn't my type. I freaked out when I first saw her because she was all covered in blood. It must have been right after she had killed the Takanaka family.
So he was the one who discovered her.
I could have called the police and had them arrest her, but I decided to blackmail her into my slave. I knew it was a bad thing to do, but I couldn't help it. It was because my Haruka didn't want to see me again.
It seems to be a low-risk diet based on the medical studies that were started in Southeast Asia. One of my colleagues at the facility used him, and he lost 5 kilograms in just 2 weeks.
It was rare to talk about work. Did she really work in such a place? Next time we should have some fun at the facility.
Oh, don't do that!
But I really hated dieting. I did what I wanted and ate what I wanted. That was my philosophy.
But it will be like everything.
But it will be like everything else. Eat less food and exercise. I hate those nasty things.
No, it's so easy and simple. This method seems to work for everybody. How does that sound?
She's so persistent. Why is she telling me all of this? No, diet was the third or fourth word I hated the most. In the first place, is there anything good about being thin?
You want to impress Miss Haruka, right?
She said even before I finished my sentence. Haruka? Why are you talking about her all of a sudden? She doesn't care if I am thin. Haruka told me that herself when I visit her at work 3 times a day. She even smiled at me. She didn't care about my weight.
Yeah, you don't know that. She's just pretending. For her job. Which is, you know.
Was she that pretentious? That would be terrible. I don't want to think about that now. So now I closed her eyes and let out a sigh. Was it just me or was she frustrated?
Kanaya, listen carefully. The kind of girl who doesn't care about appearances only exists in books or in your imagination. And think about it. You have no other flaws other than being overweight.
Well, yeah, kinda. I got lots of money and the talent to become a famous novelist. I really am the man.
Also, he did want to become a novelist, huh?
It's hard to think of anything else that Haruka would reject you for.
Well...
She might have been testing you when she said that she was a kid with your failure.
Testing?
Girls can be like that sometimes. I think she was just trying to help you understand her true intentions. Girls don't reveal their true opinions to the ones they truly like.
Was that so? I think it might be possible, but I don't really understand women. Are you saying that Haruka will be mine if I lose weight?
I think it's quite possible.
I will kill you if you're lying to me.
It doesn't matter to me. I'm already dead inside.
SANAE laughed as she said that.
SANAE laughed as she said that. This girl's mental state is questionable, to say the least. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to turn her crazy.
It must have broken her mind after abusing her so much. Well, that doesn't matter at this point. But I wanted to know more of what she had to say. Why are you trying to set me up with Haruka? I won't let you go even if I start dating Haruka.
Ew, you can't have 2 women.
Yeah, I know that.
Then why?
I'm giving you some helpful advice. Every girl cares about a man's look. I will spend the rest of my life as your slave. I would also be happy if you lost weight.
The creature has finally given up on being free. I want to enjoy myself a little bit. This is insane. Alright, tell me about this diet method. But first...
Oh no, he abused her. I jumped onto her. Oh no. That's so f***ed up.
SANAE had already gotten the diet pills. Could I really lose weight with these? I wasn't a fool. I didn't start taking the pills at first because they looked kinda suspicious. But the situation with Haruka was starting to get worse. Now she would only stay a few minutes even after I requested her at the bar. And she stopped accepting all the expensive gifts I gave her too. SANAE could have been right. Haruka might have been angry with me because I had been ignoring her needs. Just thinking about the situation made me anxious, so I decided to mix the medication I got from SANAE into my stupid family's meal and see if there were side effects. My family was fine, so it wasn't poison. So after that, I started taking the medication.
You're crazy!
It was quite effective. I lost some weight, and Haruka started to treat me better for a while. SANAE told me what was going on with Haruka. SANAE even told me that I looked thinner. It was only a matter of time until Haruka agreed to go out with me. After pulling out a large amount of cash from a convenience store, I decided to persuade Haruka by giving her a gift. But for some strange reason, Haruka rejected me. What just happened? Why didn't Haruka become mine? I was confused. I lost the weight just like she wanted, and I even gave her some money too. What else did she want?
It wasn't the case, buddy.
When I left Haruka's bar, I called SANAE to come meet me at our special place. I wanted to release some of my anger, but I needed to get the drugs from her first. I got really anxious if I didn't take them. My body was on fire. SANAE stared at my right hand and began to speak.
What's that in your hand? Is that Haruka's mobile phone?
So he did took her phone.
Yeah, that's right. Haruka said I never wanted to see you again, but she dropped her phone before she left. This might be my excuse to see Haruka again, but what a lucky opportunity. Why was she so cold, refusing me like that? I've lost weight, and I love her so much!
Can I take a look?
She snatched the phone and took a look at it. She finally opened her mouth before she could ask for it back. Her tone was disappointingly sweet.
Someone's threatening your girl.
What? But she never seemed... SANAE showed me the call history. It had this name of a strange man. TAMURA KOTARO. Oh! TAMURA KOTARO?
I know this one. He is notorious at my nursing facility,
So she knew him!
he preys on other people's weaknesses to steal money and control them. This guy's a bully.
Is that so? Son of a B-word.
He might have been the main reason why Haruka rejected you. She might not have wanted you to get involved with her situation.
Really? I can understand if that's the case. She has always been so kind to me. Now that I figure out what really happened, I'm gonna do something about it! I'm going to go save Haruka from Tamura's evil scheme and be a hero!
That's the spirit. But that won't be enough. You never know when he could strike back.
Really? Then I should kill Tamura! I will never let you get near Haruka ever again!
Really?
Of course! I can do anything for her! SANAE brought her face close to mine. She was smiling, but her eyes weren't.
Ooh, so that's when she encourages him.
Her eyes were as dark as an abyss.
You're not ready yet. He's gonna beat you down in your present state. Don't worry. You just have to change your methods, or you won't be able to save her. That's why I'm going to teach you how to kill him. I will tell you how to induce the most bone-chilling fear within him.
I started getting dizzy. I didn't understand what she was talking about, but I nodded to end the conversation. I was so thirsty. I need a medication! Give me the drugs! Give them to me! Now! SANAE slowly walked out of my reach with the bag to the corner of the room. She pulled out a brown bottle, opened the lid, and started throwing the pills on the floor. All my precious pills started flying everywhere! What the hell was she doing? So, I tried gathering up all the pills with my arms and tried to push all of them into my mouth. Oh my god! That's better! I could hear a faint laugh. It was SANAE.
Oh my god. Oh, it took me back to the beginning. I guess we'll do the other extra then. So the other extra that we're going to be watching is SEKIMOTO SOUJIROU. So let's see what happened with him. This is in the Urban Legend final, during the whole thing with SANAE.
I was in a room at the old residence with blind man who went by the name MAKIMURA SANAE.
Oh, he says Hojo, but it's actually Marie, which is me.
Marie, who passed out from the stun gun, was in the living room next to us. 10 minutes had passed. The detective was about to wake up.
You did a good job, Professor Sekimoto. Thanks for your help, sir.
You're welcome. Is this blind man's workshop? A blue sheet was covering the floors, walls, and the ceiling was soaked with blood. I already knew the answer. The blood must have been from all those tourists.
Of course, sir. Your urban legend has been brought to life in this place. And I, blind man, have finally met you, the creator. I am beyond thrilled.
Makimura screamed like a teenage girl at a mall. I didn't go along with the bloody mess. She was clearly insane. I need to be careful with what I say.
So he was being careful.
Or blind man would take my life. Even if I was her creator. What are you going to do with Marie?
I will kill her, of course.
Even before I could finish talking, Makimura answered back with a smile.
But she has to regain consciousness first. Lyman is a conduit of fear, isn't he? Because if she doesn't scream, I won't feel like I did something worthwhile.
How could anyone be so twisted like this? How could she say anything like it was nothing? This was an interesting case, but psychology wasn't my area of expertise. And even if I were, I probably wouldn't enjoy this conversation. I see. Are you planning on killing her no matter what?
Why are you asking? You aren't trying to stop me, are you?
Her voice was low. This wasn't a good sign. It was clear that I wouldn't be able to persuade her. No, I was just curious. I find it fascinating because I research urban legends. At least I have been fortunate enough to see my own urban legend at work. I thank you for that.
You have to say that?
Makimura said it in a soft voice as if she just got a compliment from her parents. What should I do now? Oh, I forgot to dispose of Minase Haruka's body. Let me go take care of that.
You can leave it there. It's useless now. I'm going to show you the real blind man. Let me start by killing Marie.
But Haruka's body is still out there on that road. Someone might find it. It's too risky. Police might be here soon. You don't want your workshop to be ruined, do you? I'll be right back, I promise. Makimura seemed to be worrying. It was a few seconds, but it felt like a lifetime.
Alright then. Please come back as soon as possible, or Marie will be dead before you come back.
That was her answer. It sounded like a threat, but it might have been just my imagination. She really wanted to show me at the moment how blind men kill its victims. She was totally insane. I sighed to myself so she wouldn't notice. Alright, I'll be back.
Mr. Sekimoto?
She called out my name when I was about to leave the room.
I have become the one you always needed, right?
I left the house without a word. I walked the weed-covered ground, thinking to myself, I could flee, leaving Marie behind. That would have been an option, if it was really a ruthless criminal. So he was planning to leave me? But as a folklorist, I wanted to see blind men at work. I smiled bitterly. Why was I hesitating? Since giving my statement that I had information about what had happened in this town, I had already made my decision. I arrived at the site where Marie had passed out, and I was shocked. It's gone. Where's Minase Haruka's body? What? I was sure I was in the right place. The guardrail was still broken from when the car crashed into. Where did the body go? Oh? She must have been dead. I watched her lose way too much blood. I even checked her pulse before we brought back home Marie. But the body and the blood trail were nowhere to be found. How did someone move Minase's body in such a short time and completely wipe the crime scene clean? Who the hell did this? I couldn't imagine why someone would do this. The only thing I could think of was that someone was trying to cover up any evidence on blind men. Is there a third party, as they say, a third party person outside Makimura? Honestly, it puzzled me that Makimura hadn't been considered as a suspect. The Takanaka family, Watari from the facility, and the Tamura, all connected to her. Didn't make any sense. Why didn't Kanaya mention her name while he was being interrogated? Was there something bigger going on, like some sort of gigantic conspiracy? But I had nothing to back up these accusations. Am I overthinking this, or... I needed to get back to the house. I came out hoping that I would find the mobile phone on Minase's corpse. I was going to contact the local authorities, but that plan had failed. There's only one thing I can do now. I have to soak my hands with blood again. This was the urban legend I've created. I have to clean up this mess. This was my wish so long ago. So that's what happened. It goes back to the... So basically what happened with Sekimoto is that he was gonna use Minase's phone, but her corpse was wiped out. And he knew that it was Makimura all along. And yes, it does make sense that the others didn't realize it was Makimura, like the old lady from the welfare, the Takanaka family. I don't know, but yeah, also the fact that Makimura was like, I monitor you guys, and then someone must have been giving her information. We don't know who that was, but yeah, that's a pretty interesting it's interesting scene we watched there. So anyways, the next one we're gonna watch is Kotaro Tamura's episode, so let's see. Or extra, as they say. 12:15 p.m. Alright, Tamura left the facility. It was 15 minutes past his scheduled time. I might not be able to eat my lunch. It was all because of that chief director. He complained about his situation, said he would unalive himself if I didn't allow him to the mortgage. That incompetent fool. It was a mistake to run a facility like this in such a secluded place. He should have been grateful that I even listened to all his nonsense. Go ahead and die. See if I care.
So, the chief director unalive himself, really? I have no idea.
He was a nuisance. I doubt he meant that. But it really didn't matter. I didn't sympathize with him because he was far from a respectable and responsible director.
Whoa, the eyes!
Huh? This is strange. It feels like someone's watching me. I looked around, but no one was there. I don't have enough time. Are there any restaurants nearby? I checked the time on my watch and hurried towards the company car.
Oh, we went to the Sunahori place.
3:50. I guess I have no luck with my clients. One of them is at the Sunahori Brewery. This traditional brewery was far from trending in today's age, and it was located in the countryside like this crappy place. No wonder that place was having financial problems.
No.
I invited Sunahori Masaharu and explained everything about loan cancellation we discussed before politely. I couldn't do a thing about it because our bank regulations had recently been changed.
So it wasn't Kotaro to me?
When I mentioned to him about loan retrieval, Sunahori fell on his knees. Please help me! I can't afford to do that! Please don't do this to me! Please, I implore you! He put his head on the ground. It was just like he was getting down on his knees and begging. Didn't I say that you could sell your land and get the money that way? That land has been in my family for generations! I can't sell it! That's none of my concern. You bastard! Sunahori stood up and was about to grab me by the collar. I was overwhelmed by his expression. Anyway, I need you to pay back the bank. It won't be so nice if I visit you the next time, so be ready. Anna left his brewery, trying to avoid his angry stare and threats.
Damn.
8:40 p.m. I left my office and headed over to my girlfriend's house.
Girlfriend?
Her name was Minase Haruka. She was a pretty college girl. We began seeing each other pretty recently. She was working at a bar downtown and finally had a day off. I took off my jacket and tie and went to her bed. While I was resting on her bed, Haruka came near me and handed me a can of beer.
Drink it and leave.
Why? Are you upset about something?
Don't you know a woman's heart even at your age? I'm clearly saying leave. You're obviously bothering me.
Well, sorry for not calling you and coming to see you like this out of the blue. But there's no reason why you should be so angry. It's between me and you, Haruka.
I grab both her arms and pull her towards the bed. Oh no!
Hey, wait!
She was a little off balance and I caught her smelling her sweet tangerine perfume. But she pushed me away and stood up.
Stop it! Are you insane? What do you think we are in a relationship? We're even close to that.
So they weren't dating.
Why are you calling me every day and visiting me all of a sudden? I didn't invite you here. I think you got it all wrong.
What are you talking about? We had dinner just last weekend.
So what? That doesn't mean we're in a relationship. Stop it. You're starting to get on my nerves.
She's so talkative. Why is she doing this to me? I'm so tired right now. I sighed and stood up slowly and looked at her.
Now get out.
Shut up.
He hit her!
I punched her hard right in the stomach. The blow knocked her down to the floor. But I wasn't finished yet. She was mine and I had to make sure she understood that.
No! Stop it!
Haruka curled up in a ball trying to protect herself.
Damn.
And I kicked her side and waist a few times.
What, because she wouldn't you? Oh my god, you're sick in the head, dude. Yeah, I guess I'm glad he's dead.
When Haruka finally passed out, I decided to leave her house.
Thank goodness he didn't do anything much worse.
I drove my car along a mountain passage that didn't have any street lamps. There wasn't a care within kilometers. It was a dark country lane. And suddenly something hit my front window. Whoa! I stepped on the brakes and turned the wheel quickly. It was a bicycle. Someone must have placed it right in the middle of the road.
Huh?
I got out of my car to check the damage. My bumper and hood were badly scratched up just as I thought. Crap! Who the hell placed a bike here? I kicked the ground angrily. It had been a lousy day for me. That mysterious sound gave me chills. It sounded like an angry beast. It can't be. I thought it was just me because I was so tired at the time, but I just turned around and then...
Kanaya? Holy shit! You look like a zombie!
I felt a bolt of electricity running through my body as I screamed. A man was standing right in front of me, drooling all over himself. He was holding a stun gun. And I passed out. It was like I was falling into an unfathomable chasm.
So this is the dude who died in the beginning. 10 p.m. Wow, so that's what happened. Also, KOTARO was an a**hole. He really was an a**hole. Especially with what he did to Haruka. That's very disrespectful. Alright, so the last one we're watching, this one, KURODA survives. KURODA survives! Yeah, they heard the title. What? Okay, let's see what happens.
After Sekimoto used a stun gun on Marie and moved her body with the help of MAKIMURA. I, KURODA KUNIO, managed to climb back up the cliff.
So you were alive this whole time? What?
Oh, my back hurts. I had enough of this field training stuff, but man, my back really hurts from falling from that car. Marie may think I died when the car went over the cliff. It appears that my mission seems to be almost finished. At the moment I saw Minase Haruka. She was just lying there on the ground in a pile of her own blood. I could leave the body, but I don't think it would be the smartest move because it's not that far from Blind Man's workshop. All the preparations we made will be all in vain if some pedestrian sees this mess. I pulled out my small radio from one of my inner pockets and contacted some of my associates that were standing by. What? What is going on? Yeah, it's me. It's going as we planned. I need some guys to take care of a body. Just have everyone else stay put for a while.
What is going on? Is he what? Is he some kind of body? I stare at the forest where MAKIMURA and the others were heading. I was already suspecting MAKIMURA SANAE to be Blind Man ever since the murder of Watari Kurumi. See? Even I would think about that!
Blind Man was a fictional character created by Sekimoto SOUJIROU and has been killing people through MAKIMURA SANAE's body. But soon the killing spree will be stopped by Sekimoto, Marie, or my associates. This case will be handled delicately so no one will know and no documentation will be recorded.
So was he behind everything, even us not being able to talk about this case?
The truth of the story will disappear over time. No, that's highly unlikely. People are still going to talk about the blind man who cuts people's eyes out and spread this story all over the place. Once all these unusual things come to an end, the faster and louder blind man will become being an urban legend that will never disappear. And that's what we want.
Huh?
Well, I better join up with the TF and monitor the blind man.
Huh?
I grabbed my radio and radio in as I walked in. I contacted one of my associates. It's me again. Any updates on the situation? MAKIMURA and Sekimoto have moved Marie to the house. Alright, I will meet you there shortly. Wait for me.
Was this some kind of experiment by them? What's going on?
It's a device that we really just leave Marie there. Blind Man might kill her at any moment. Let's talk about it if the time comes. It will depend on how lucky she is. But my gut tells me she won't die. How can you be so sure? Sekimoto is a rational person. He doesn't have a good reason to be with Blind Man at this time. He might actually try to save the detective. It might help reduce his sentence. In this type of situation, he is a cold and intelligent man. Even though Sekimoto will probably be sentenced to death, he'll be spared from that fate. Our organization takes great value in certain individuals' abilities. If he survives, there's a high chance I will use him in other cases. Oh! What about Marie then? Hasn't she got too involved in this case already? Are you going to have her join our team?
Excuse me?
We'll see. Right now she'll just remain as a common detective. We might contact her again if there's another case that deals with urban legends. Oh, we have made sure that she won't be able to say anything about this case, and we are sending her to the regional division after this is all over.
So it was them! It was. This is top 10. Okay, I am bringing back my retraction from Sekimoto, but to Kuroda. You traitor! You mother traitor!
Special Law Enforcement Unit in Town C has effectively been disbanded. This division made it easier for me to move around without erasing suspicion, but I had no other options. Soon there will be another similar experimental division will be established someplace else. I will need her then.
Oh, you sneaky ass!
Alright, I'll prepare for that. And don't forget that I am dead now. Even if KURODA KUNIO was a fake identity, the decent thing to do was to have proper funeral. We'll tell her it was a small family funeral.
Wait, you're... what? KUNIO? Is that even your name?
Alright. That will be all. I'll join up with you soon. Copy that. Out. The radio turned off with a small noise. I sent my radio back into my pocket and turned around. Our guys had arrived with a truck and were loading the body of Minase Haruka into the bed of the truck. Others were cleaning area of the blood. They worked swiftly and all traces from this murder have been removed quickly. I should be on my way then. I continue walking through the forest with my heart pounding quickly to see the conclusion of this brutal urban legend.
You traitor! You traitor!
Truth is invisible. The mystery is not over.
Oh, yeah, these are the other... I'll show you about all of that. You traitor! You mother traitor! Kuroda's a traitor! Anyways, I am going to now be expressing a little bit of my thoughts on the game and everything else. So, first off, let's start with the story. The story was pretty decent, excuse me. I can't even speak anymore. The story was pretty decent. I like it. It was pretty obvious that it was a lose-lose situation from start to end, and the ending is pretty depressing. But now we know, based on the Kuroda scene, what really was all of this about. This was just a complete experiment from wherever organization Kuroda works at, and they were using us the entire time, even our girl and everything. And so he faked his death and to be part of the experiment, which is crazy to say the least. But yeah, it was a loose situation. It was pretty bad. I love, for the most part, all of the characters. Obviously, our main girl was okay. Sekimoto was okay too. Kasamori, I love Kasamori, and he had to die like that. Misuzu was okay too. I also felt bad for Haruka. Like, I had mixed feelings for her, but at the end of the day, now I do feel bad for her. And I understand her motivations, but although she really could have prevented more casualties, unfortunately. But yeah, Kanaya was a freak, and Makimura was an insane, psychotic villain, and she was 10 steps ahead of everyone. I don't think I've ever seen a villain be this 10 steps ahead, like very smart about everything, being careful about everything. Like, she was really, really brutal. But yeah, and yeah, that's kind of what I can say about the characters. As for the gameplay, it was mostly choices, and which apparently if you make a wrong choice, you get bad endings, or you get like game overs and stuff like that. You get like these unnecessary cutscenes with game overs and stuff. And what did piss me off was the liars are a bit, because sometimes I wanted to try to analyze the choices that I had, but it wouldn't give me the time to properly read each of them. And then it was like what happened with the Kanaya thing. It pissed me the off, that part. But thankfully I was able to at least pass it to level, because I thought I was gonna lose to the Kanaya part, but we did it. What else can I say about this? The music was okay, except that the music would like go on and off, which was a bit off. But I think the music was for the most part well placed. The only one that fell out of place was the magical girl thing, and the liars are. But it was still good music. I really like it. And the translation and the English translation, obviously there's a lot of typos, but of course that's not Gab Smolder's fault. I mean, I believe it's not her fault. Maybe it was more like when they were transcripting the script, they did not do a good job in checking like the mistakes. It happens a lot in visual novels anyways, especially because I've seen this also happen in a game that I'm playing, which will be released in the future, NG. NG has had a couple of typos as well. It happens a lot. So yeah, but that's pretty much it for my thoughts on Shin Hayarigami as well. So yeah, like I said, I play this on the mobile version, and I also have it on the Switch, but it's a Japanese version. Oh yeah, and one thing I forgot to say about the Japanese version is there are some extras as well as what they show in the end. So there are other extra stories, but they're like I call them alternate versions of Blind Man, but it's like different stories with certain characters living. Like for example, Kasamori gets to live in that specific story, and example maybe Makimura dies in that chapter. And there are different stories. One's being about the curse of Misuzu or something like that. The other one's about doll, zombies, and all of that. Unfortunately, those never got a translation. And I'm not going to play them either because for me personally, they're not interesting enough to be actually played. And so, yeah, I'm not going to be playing those. But there are some other versions of it as well. So, yeah, that's about what I can say on Shin Hayarigami. I already translated Shin Hayarigami 2. I need to record them and, you know, get it all in set. And I am going to start translating Shin Hayarigami 3. I'm very excited to translate that. And yeah, that is pretty much it for this series. Thank you guys so much for being here watching the entire series of Shin Hayarigami. It really means a lot. And yeah, I will be seeing you guys in the next one with Shin Hayarigami 2. So thank you so much. Love you all. Appreciate you. And we'll be seeing you in the next one. Goodbye.